Access to artificial intelligence tools has never been higher, yet for most businesses, measurable financial returns remain low. While capital continues to flow into AI software, that spending is decoupling from actual productivity gains. Roughly 95% of enterprise generative AI pilots fail to generate measurable profit. Researchers identify this as a missing link between tool adoption and business value. This failure stems from a lack of operational integration, where new technology remains disconnected from internal workflows and responsibilities. A powerful AI model is ineffective if the system cannot read, interface with, or be controlled by the organization's core operational structure. Until recently, the industry was obsessed with raw capability. Development centered on hoarding computing power, expanding data centers, and racing to build larger foundation models. This map shows how the AI bottleneck has migrated from hardware and model size, moving into meaning, translating knowledge into structures AI understands, and operations. Following the flowchart, value ultimately relies on generating verifiable evidence of these actions to create a new economy. Pivoting focus from simple adoption to true AI operability determines whether an organization realizes a return on these investments or continues to absorb the costs of the adoption gap. These advanced systems require massive physical infrastructure, drawing significant power and requiring dense server networks to function. We introduce the AI Operable Infrastructure, or OII. Built directly on top of existing servers, it connects physical hardware to business reality. OII acts as a semantic layer, translating complex corporate data, compliance rules, and safety protocols into a uniform structure AI can safely interact with. Without this OII foundation, AI remains restricted to peripheral tasks, like chatbots, rather than executing central business operations. Once the infrastructure is set, we define the subjects operating on it. An AI operable entity, or AOE, is a subject whose internal boundaries, legal liabilities, and decision-making frameworks are deliberately structured for AI participation. This chart categorizes the three operable entities: commercial enterprises, public organizations, and physical assets. Each targets different outcomes: profit, transparent policy, and uptime. Yet all three must meet strict requirements. Their systems must be readable, callable, controllable, and measurable by AI within a human-accountable framework. Transitioning a traditional organization into an AOE moved away from a passive software tool into an active, accountable participant in daily operations. Operating these entities creates the AI operable economy. It begins with evidence, packaging actions into tamper-proof trails. Next, independent third-party trust verification converts this into an asset. Finally, in finance, this verified asset lowers capital costs, satisfies M&A diligence, and secures transition financing. The emerging economy does not trade in raw computing power. It trades in the verified, audited evidence of successful AI operations. This pipeline is more than a corporate strategy. It is a blueprint for national industrial competitiveness and modern public policy. However, this system faces the self-certification paradox. No tech vendor or corporation can be the neutral party that defines the standards and then verifies their own AI's performance against those rules. This necessitates a neutral platform like KIPCC. As an independent nonprofit, KIPCC develops the public policies and standardizes evaluation criteria, keeping rulemaking strictly separated from commercial sales. Public trust requires a rigid separation of powers. Public institutions set the standards, independent auditors verify results, and private markets execute. This summary shows the unbreakable chain. Infrastructure must be prepared before an entity can operate, and only verified operations can be converted into economic assets. Everything rests on the bedrock of evidence and trust. The deciding metric is no longer whether you have purchased artificial intelligence. The question is whether your organization is structurally capable of operating with it. To understand these frameworks and begin the transition to operability, join the KIPCC network and download the Public Research Manifesto today.